There's a hidden currency of power at your job. It's way more powerful than money, and it says a whole lot more than any job title. What is it? It's time. And today, we are going to pull back the curtain on how time secretly runs the show in every single thing you do at work. So let me ask you, who really holds the power where you work? Is it the person with the fancy corner office? The one with the biggest paycheck? You might think so. But the real tell? It's a lot more subtle than that. Yeah, because real power, true influence, it isn't about those obvious things. The real pecking order is written in a language that we all live by, but we hardly ever stop to actually read it. And that's the language of the clock. And that brings us to this fascinating idea, chronomic power. It's a fancy term for something you see every day. It's how people use time to communicate and to control. It's all about who has to wait for who can interrupt someone else, and who really sets the pace for the entire team. This, right here, is the hidden blueprint of your workplace. All right, first up, the clock is a weapon. We're going to dive into how that feeling of urgency is often just made up, and how your availability, or maybe your lack of it, is constantly broadcasting where you stand. Okay, so just look at this contrast. It's night and day. People with high status, they get to be proactive. They're the ones planning, thinking long-term. Their time is their own. But then you have folks in lower status roles who are just stuck in reactive mode. Their schedule is basically just a to-do list written by someone else. You know all those urgent requests you get? Yep, that's a signal. And here is the great paradox of being available. Being always on, always ready to jump, it doesn't really signal that you're a hard worker. What it actually signals is that your time isn't valuable enough to be protected, making it a free-for-all for anyone higher up the food chain. So that leads us right into our next big question. Who owns your time? We're about to unpack the huge difference between running out of hours in the day and running out of the most precious resource of all, focus. You see, not all busyness is created equal. Far from it. For subordinates, it's about time scarcity. It's a numbers game. Too many tasks, not enough time. It's a treadmill. But for executives, it's about attention scarcity. Their big challenge isn't the clock. It's the constant fragmentation of their focus. So their main goal becomes protecting their headspace for the deep, strategic work. And boom, this is where the power dynamic just snaps into focus. Real power is being able to delegate your time-consuming tasks to someone else. It's basically trading your problem of time scarcity for theirs so you can preserve your own attention. You're literally using the organization to build a wall around your own focus. Now, let's bring this whole idea into the digital age. You know the feeling, right? It's 10 p.m. An email from your boss hits your inbox, and you feel that instant pressure to reply. Well, that feeling, that is exactly how status gets broadcasted in our world today. I mean, think about it. The same exact behavior can mean completely different things. A one-word email from a leader? Oh, that's just efficiency. But from a junior employee, that's seen as rude. An unscheduled call from the boss shows authority. But from a subordinate, that's being intrusive. It really all comes down to who has the power to write the unwritten rules. This is what we call the directional flow of intrusion. It's a one-way street. Power is being able to turn an email, which, someone can answer on their own time, into a phone call that demands they drop everything right now. It's a clear statement that your whim is more important than their entire workflow. So at the end of the day, controlling this digital pace isn't just about convenience. No way. It's a defense mechanism. It protects the time and focus of the people at the top, making sure that deep, strategic work stays in their ballpark, which is why, maybe, the most powerful phrase in any office today is simply, not now. So where do we see all these dynamics play out in real time? Well, welcome to the ultimate theater of power, the meeting. Forget what's on the agenda. The meeting itself is a performance, where everyone's rank in the hierarchy gets acted out for all to see. I mean, just think about the classic arrival. The meeting's at 2, everyone dutifully shows up on time, and then you wait. You enter this little holding pattern. It's a silent agreement that the entire group's time is less valuable than one person's schedule. The meeting doesn't really start until they arrive. And once things get going, just watch who interrupts whom. It's not random. Interruptions almost always flow down the hierarchy. It is a pure power move. It says, my thought is more important than yours is right now, so I'm taking over. And what about the end of the meeting? Well, it's not a democracy, is it? It's never a group decision. One person, the one with the highest status, holds the ultimate power, the power of dismissal. They're the one who gets to release everyone, letting you have your own time back. It's the final stamp of their control over the clock. Okay, so let's put it all together. How do you go from being a pawn in this game to being a player? That's what this is all about. It's about becoming the metronome, understanding what it really means to go from being controlled by time to controlling it yourself.
Here's probably the best way to look at it. For most people, time is a container. It's a rigid 9 to 5 box that you have to fill with tasks. But for the people with real chronemic power, time is a canvas. It's a wide open, flexible space for creating things, for strategy, for influence. It's a completely different way of experiencing your own life. And that's why, look, the biggest promotion you will ever get in your career has nothing to do with a new title. It's the shift from simply being on the clock to truly owning the clock. It's the difference between being a resource managed by time and being the one who directs that resource. So, I'll leave you with this question to think about. In your work life, are you the metronome, the one setting the beat for everyone else? Or are you the pendulum, just swinging back and forth in response to a rhythm that somebody else created? The answer to that, well, it reveals a lot more about real power than any org chart ever will. Thanks for joining us.